Hello, I'm Perry from Rennet Rind, and I am here because this is the last mystery cheese box of the year. It is our Christmas edition. It's the big old build up to everything that we're doing this year. So I should introduce myself because there's loads of people that bought our box who don't know who I am. So as I said, I'm Perry. I am an affineur. We have a selection of 5 maturing rooms here where I look after these cheeses. It's called affinage. There's brushing, washing, turning, getting the cheese to the best that the cheese can be. And then I select every month 5 cheeses that work perfectly together. Now, work on this box starts a year ago. So essentially, over the year, I'm looking at what tastes really great, what works together, and it's a lot of work to try and get that balance for a day. We want to challenge some people, give some people what they want, give some things that people don't normally gravitate to but might find a brand new experience. So I'm 3 times Britain's best cheese maturer. I've won affineur of the year. It's been going 4 years. I've won 3 years. I didn't compete in 1. I'm a world cheese judge, and this year I was on the super jury representing Great Britain as a whole. You stand on a stage, and the cheese that I championed won the whole competition. I've also been honoured by the French. So the French invited me down to the French embassy. They gave me this massive large medallion for what I do in the artisan cheese world and protecting small British farmers. So hopefully that kind of list of credentials, if you heard it all before, I guess you'll skip this immediately, that should tell you that I know a little bit about cheese and hopefully give you the authority on why I'm talking to you about them. So today I'm going to go through these cheeses that I've selected for you. And I'm really excited because we've been packing these all day. My team is amazing. We're a small independent business, and literally the work they've done still dedicated to hand cutting, hand wrapping all your cheeses is nothing short of amazing. And every year we get bigger and bigger. And all I just think about is how many British artisan institutions, our heritage that we're supporting. I've rambled on for enough, but let's get into our first cheese. Our first cheese is Roll Right, made by David Jowett. It looks really good. I'm so excited about these cheeses. Made by David Jowett, down in Gloucestershire. Amazing cheesemaker. We pretty much take all of his cheeses because he's just great at it. Roll Right, particularly this time of the year, so it's got the spruce bark on the outside. Do not eat that. Imparts a little resin into the cheese, but it keeps it together as well because this is a very runny cheese. This is your dippable, spoonable kind of cheese. It's modelled slightly on a Vacherin Mont d'Or. There's a little bit of like poisse in there. There's a little bit of other things, a very British twist on it. But what I love to do with this cheese, you can see it's been washed. If you sniff the top of the cheese, you can see that it's got that wash rind, that little peachy kind of rind that's in there. I like just cutting off the top like that. So you can see I've just scored into the cheese there. And then hopefully this is gonna work. Oh, here we go. I've got it. I'm gonna just go in. This one is still a little bit cold, but you can see that curdy bread, that, you know, it's just delicious. You can see how delicious that is. It is just like molten lava in there. Beautiful. The aroma is sensational, and it's great this time of the year. For some reason, the hit rate for David's cheese this time of the year, with the great milk from Man of Arm, everything comes together so beautifully. And that's why we had to have it. Last year we had Yarlington, and Roll Right was heading in that direction, was like, it's got to go in the box. So, look at this. That is phenomenal, if you can see that. I'm trying to see if you can see that on camera. Well, you're eating it now, so aroma, light, milky, little bit of lactic. There's a little bit of herbal lay, good milk in there as well. That can get a little bit more depth to that. Gin, phenomenal. That creme fraiche, set sour vibe. Light, but so much depth in it as well. So moreish, that twinge that it just has in the end, which is that lactic, that creme fraiche kind of area, is phenomenal. Just getting a little piece of that mushroom coming in as well, but not too. It's a very lactic forward cheese. But it's all about the texture. That is stunning. That would win anything if that was the cheese on a competition. That is one of the best cheeses I've had this year. It is simply phenomenal. I'm going to find it very difficult to move on from this because I want to eat more and more of it. But really great cheese. Don't bake it. It's got no savory depth in there. So basically you're going to get the same result and lose some of the notes that are in there as well. Not worth baking at all. I know you might be tempted, but we can get there with maturation. So hey, look at us. That's what's so good. That is going to be a crowd pleaser. Grab a spoon, dig in. I think that'd be great. Next cheese up. I love this cheese. Sparkenhoe Red Leicester. To me, the only Red Leicester that's ever made in the UK. It is unpasteurized milk, cloth bound, and we've been loving it again this year. You know, took these on a little bit earlier, brought them on a little bit more in the maturing rooms, drying that texture out a little bit, making the aroma a little bit more punchy, the flavors a little bit more punchy. And you know what? World Cheese Awards, this was in the top 14. So out of 5,400 cheeses, a cheese that I selected 8 months ago went on to be one of the best 14 cheeses in the world, which is a phenomenal achievement, and it totally deserves it. So you've got a world-winning cheese here right in front of you. So beautiful russet color, slightly cheddary on the nose, a little bit more acid that's there, but a nice back note of it's quite chickeny to me this morning. It feels quite chickeny. So let's cut that open. Beautiful slice. I already know it's going to have that chewy texture that's in there. The annatto in the middle, the annatto colouring is put into the milk. That's a South American seed that makes the colour as vibrant as it is. Even inside, it's got this juiciness to it. It's a banger as well. Texture, I thought it was going to be chewier than that, but dissipates in a really lovely way. Bumbling around that savoury note as you get more oxygen into your mouth. Delivering that chickeny broth area, miso soup area, finishes really nicely. And that overarching nut that's in there as well is really nice. And nice and subtle, a nice graduation jump up on that. I think that's like a session cheese as well. That cheese is going to get better and better as you go back for more and more and more. Fantastic cheese. Sparkenhoe Red Leicester. That's your second cheese. Next up, it had to happen, right? Baron by God. It's the best brie. I say it every year. I think some of you have got used to it. I know some of you put the extra in the box and the mystery makes you have more Baron. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think a lot of you love Baron by God. We've gone for a slight twist this year, which is a little bit of a challenge for me maturing. We've swapped from our 1 kilo cuts that we usually do to a full-on 250 gram round. So it's been a little bit of a challenge for me maturing, but I'm really happy with it. Little note, this can be baked. You can grab your little box, pop your cheese in there, slid it on the baking tray. It is in your tasting notes, which I forgot to mention, your tasting notes. You've got your quiz in there. You've got your cheese judging in there as well. You can pop it in 180 degrees, keep on checking on it when it's run. So we've got a nice cut. We should have a little bit of a lactic core in there. We didn't want, because we got a lot of savory going on there. There you go. So a nice lactic core that's there. Some breakdown on the outside. As we near Christmas Day, I'm recording this on the 16th, that's going to graduate further into the cheese. So let's have a little taste. This is made by Johnny and Dulcie Crickmore over in Bungay, Suffolk. Montbéliard cows, rich cow's milk. Aroma, we've got that slight mushroom milky that we'd expect from a camembert style rind. Let's have a taste. So dense. That's delicious. So dense, because we've got that larger lactic core, that nice lift, that freshness, slightly borderline lemony citrus, but not too crazy. And that bumbling around of that Sauveur from you get more rind ratio in these cuts. Do you get a little bit more from the environment, the terroir that's going on there, a little bit more forest floor? Really nice. That nice savory twinge at the end links these all together. That's fantastic. So you can bake that or have it as it is. I was thinking we'd have baking going on, but maybe that's a good textural difference from just the relentless way that Roll Right is just oozing. But it's entirely up to you. You can take it as you want. I'm gonna pop this down here. Have a little bit more space because we've got a few more to go. Eckfield, made by Village Made, a cheese we discovered on a farm visit back in spring, I think it was. So I went down there to visit the guys, have a catch up, and view the farm, view the cheese making procedure on a yearly visit, come up with ideas, collaborate across. And at the back of the maturing rooms was this one little cheese that I was like, I've never seen that. And we just take it down markets. It's become one of our best selling cheeses of the year. And it had to go in the box because it just made such a massive impact. You've got this beautiful Guernsey cow's milk, which is just golden in color, that has the aroma is aromatic and fresh, vibrant, juicy, almost like tropical pineapple-y fruits. It's a really delicious cheese. So this is found it by accident cheese. And this is like our cheddar. So it's not a typical cloth bound cheddar, but it fills the purpose really well, and the aroma is fantastic. Really clean, got that slight crumble on there. We're not only talking about flavor differences, we're talking about textural differences as well. And this is really important for that texture to be slightly different, that slight crumble, that little bit of moisture in there as well. Let's have a taste. It is big. This is a one that's going to get the uncle, auntie that loves their cheese banging on the table. That juiciness hits you there in such a vibrant way. And the power, the length that it has, and the slight caramac finish, the sweetness comes in at the end and leaves it tingling and dancing around. I can see, I love this. I love it when it's such a lot of pressure putting these cheeses together. And I love it when I'm really happy. You're getting everything from the world of cheese that Britain has to offer. And that's quite a relatively new cheese, unknown, heck-filled, found by an accident on the farm when I was just walking around, and it's just become such a staple in our business, and you guys are loving it. I think you're gonna try that and you're gonna understand why. Fantastic. That is heck-filled. Just making sure I'm in the right place. Yes. Next up, Driftwood. Driftwood made by Longman. Roger from Somerset at the World Cheese Awards again got a cheese in the top 14. He's one of the best cheesemakers at the moment in the world. We've always supported him, really love what he does. Driftwood is modelled on a St. War style, typical Loire Valley. So, word of warning guys, this ash on the outside and the mould that grows on there is perfectly natural. This is what we're expecting from this style of goat cheese. Now I know a lot of you will recall at the word goat, but there'll be some people around your dinner table that, oh, I love a goat's cheese. Goat's cheese lovers are hardcore, and I can't not put one in there for them. So please give it a go if you're not a massive goat's cheese lover, because it is a fantastic cheese. We got these at a slightly younger maturity. So you can see you've got this beautiful ring on the outside, which is clean. That's ash covered. So ash used to be used to hide imperfections back in medieval periods when I was making cheese, because goat's cheese have a really soft rind. Now it's been known to balance out pH, so you get less acidity, more of that depth and complexity that comes in. But look how beautiful that is on the knife. That is such a lovely wedge, and it's dense as well. That's dense goat's cheese that's in there. I'm gonna cut a bit. Aroma, slight milky, slight peppery, floral notes are in there. The floral notes and that pepperiness is really important, because we're going to get that spice that we're missing, hopefully, from most cheeses. Let's have a taste, see how we get on. So we're getting that peppery spice, just lingering. That's perfect. That's what we wanted from this cheese. It leaves the palate, that milky, floral, flour edge, that pepperiness hits the back of the throat really nice. That's so really subtle, not too overpowering. That could be enjoyable to everyone, provides a new dynamic and a slight aromatic burst of slightly perfume-esque finish on the aroma. Really delicious. Well done, Roger. It's a fantastic cheese. So we are into our final cheese. Final cheese up. I'm so excited about this. This was a bit of not a gamble. So we've got Cropwell Bishop Stilton. So Cropwell Bishop, right? And I know what you're thinking. I normally put something a little bit more adventurous. Not adventurous. All cheese is adventurous, but something a little bit more challenging that's in there, and something a little bit more recognizable. But Cropwell have won everything going this year. They won Virtual Cheese Awards, Supreme Champion, Best Blue, Best Stilton at Melton Mowbray Artisan Cheese Fair, the Yorkshire Show. I cannot go on enough how much this cheese has won this year, and for totally good reason. It is the best it has ever been. We've always been a champion of Cropwell Bishop, and it's been fantastic. And when we were cutting open the thousands of wheels to send out to you guys, my elation on how perfect this cheese is today for you to enjoy is amazing. We've got the typical style that I love to see in a blue cheese. One is the veining. The veining isn't light blue, it's a dark blue. It's a dark, almost black blue. We're going to get savory in there, which is amazing. We're going to get sort of an even covering, the colour of the milk, so it's dried out a little bit, so we've got that richness that's in there. I'm so excited to try it. Aroma-wise, we just got pure digestive in there. That's literally what's going on. The crumble's nice, but the moisture's good in there as you cut it. I think this is going to be like the experience that I had when I was judging the first rounds of the Virtual Cheese Awards. I was blown away by it. It's perfect, phenomenal. That salt balance, that savoury, that tang that comes in the end, which isn't offensive. As it leaves the palate, that Marmite twiglet area, breathy, savoury, deep, long. That is, honestly, in terms of my experience and knowledge about Stilton, that is the best you're ever going to get Stilton that's in your box. And I'm so happy I went with it because it's a bit of a gamble. Because the volumes are slightly larger that they do, you can get a little bit of inconsistency. But I think over the year they've had, we visited the farm, spoke to Robin, spoke about all his developments that he's had, and I think we can see why, because that is stunning. That is the best Stilton you will ever try in your life, and it's fantastic. And that's your 6 cheeses. Thank you so much for joining me on your Christmas day. Thank you so much for supporting us for another year. We continue to grow, we mature more British artisan cheese, we connect with more people. It's a phenomenal journey, and thank you for being here with us for the last 5 or 6 years, I think it's coming up to. Keep on doing what we're doing, we keep on supporting. So enjoy your Christmas day, enjoy these cheeses, we've got some winners here. Merry Christmas.